Welcome back to Emergency Dating Consulting, a place for immediate change and/or development in the world of dating. For this video, I have 2 Reddit questions that I would like y'all to hear out. Let's get into it. So here's a woman who is not happy with her significant other, but also not unhappy. And she explains why and is looking for advice. I'm going to read the question first and then dive into it. She starts, this is a tricky one. Significant other is a male, 29. She is a female, 24. They have been together for 5.5 years. This year I've been having a lot of doubts about our relationship. We own a house, have 2 dogs, living together for 3 years. He's a good partner. He is attentive, loyal, trustworthy, etc. Interesting. But he doesn't feel like my person. We've struggled with feeling understood and other communication problems for as long as we've been together. I feel I've grown so much since we met when I was 19, and I want to explore the world. He wants to settle down and start a family, and up until a year ago or so, I did too. But as soon as he mentioned he was saving up for a ring, I panicked. And honestly, the thought of marrying him terrifies me. This is already highly questionable. But the relationship is good. It just doesn't feel right. And I don't know what percentage of right I should be aiming for. But I feel like I would regret it if I settled down and he never felt like my person. I know I feel like his, and he says I'm his dream girl, but he's never been the one I saw myself marrying or being together with forever. He would make an amazing father and has so many other good qualities, but I can't shake the feeling, and the guilt is eating me alive. Where do I go from here? Do I stay? Do I go? Should I stay or should I go? I have no clue. Some extra information, good relationship, good partner. Do I settle for something that other people search their whole lives for and ignore the doubts? This is an interesting one. Instantly, I know she thinks dating is a game. I can tell you that off rip. They've been together for 5.5 years. They own a house and have 2 dogs. And as she says, up to a year ago, she wanted to marry him and settle down as well. You're lying. You're lying 100%. And really, I always tell people, within 6 months into dating, if you want to marry that person. Right, 6 months. If you're going to spend the rest of your life with this person or not. And she knew this 6 months in. And the fact that she would go to the furthest extent of owning a house together, having 2 dogs. See, what she's doing is, he was exactly what she said. A good partner, good man. And if you notice, she compliments him throughout this. He'll be a great father. See, this is what people do, especially women. Men do the same thing, but this is what people do to make themselves feel better, especially to an audience. Just so, because the pressure was getting tight on her, the commitment, and she wanted to slither out. She knew into dating him, she never wanted to settle. And she didn't mind discussing pillow talking, discussing the future, because everything was good. She hasn't experienced this, moving in with somebody, both going in on a house, raising dogs together. This is all the ingredients to start a family. as she knew she was getting into. However, 24 years old, she's getting older, right? She's on social media, she's seeing the options, and now she's questioning herself. She mentions, I quote, "But as soon as he mentioned he was saving up for a ring, I panicked." And adds, "And honestly, the thought of marrying him terrifies me." The actual pressure and visualization of commitment, especially for life or settling down, is strong. It's a real thing. But for years now, this woman knew that to him, she was his dream woman, right? So my question, rhetorical, they've been together for 5.5 years, and she's reaching this conclusion where she knew, she said, he was never the man I had in my head of who I was gonna settle down with. And I want this to be clear to the men and women out there. Some people can become flattered and addicted to your infatuation you have for them and your love for them. And you have to be careful and lay out the breadcrumbs to see if they feel the same way for you. And this guy did. He brought up the ring, which he shouldn't have. And there's a sum up why this really wasn't working at the beginning. But this guy tried. He bought the ring, or mentioned to her that he's saving for the ring, and she panicked. Never expressed that to him. I'm sure she passively put that aside and avoided it every time the subject popped up. But homeboy should have recognized that she wasn't fully interested in giving a shit about the ring he would like to invest in. But he was also dropping a passive clue to see how much she was invested into him, because now he's starting to feel that distance, right? And this is why, especially who has the infatuation, but who's the leader in the relationship, this is why it's important for you to control the steps, right? If you have this unsure feeling, and this guy did it, he closed in on a damn house with her, right? This is all his simpy way to rope somebody into his trap. She's been showing signs of, let's just say, he's not her dream man. So that's something, so as much as this is on her, this is on him as well. He let himself get played, and it's unfortunate. And that's what I wanted to point out to y'all today. No man or woman ever questions settling down with you. Oh, I'm not sure, what if this and what if, that's the point. And you want to dive into that risky business when you know you love somebody. So from the beginning, he definitely found somebody he wanted, but she didn't. And men, you have to be careful, ladies too, but men, you have to be careful out there as you set up your life with a career, being stable, securing your hobbies, your future. There's a woman like her who's ready to, I was just curious of how it would feel to buy a house, to settle down for a little, just want to test the waters. And this is what's extremely rude on this woman's behalf. You don't test the waters with another human being. You vampired his time. He's wrong too, don't get me wrong, but you vampired his time and resources so you can get to more of an experience and stable point for you to jump ship. And as she answers at the bottom here, do I settle for something that other people search their whole lives for? Look how she worded that. People search their whole lives for? Should I settle? Look, anybody on any context, especially if it's for y'all's future, if they back out of it if they half-fast tiptoe around the topic, get them out. All right. Dating is to pursue somebody for your future partner, for a forever situation. So you don't test waters. You know, I'm not, he's cute or she's cute or they have this or they have that. No, fuck you. That's lazy, rude, and have patience. Figure your own self out, right? Go buy a house on your own. Do all this shit yourself. And then you'll attract the person you want or find the person you want. And no more testing waters. Dating is serious. Somebody could get pregnant, right? Somebody could get hurt, God forbid. Money's being spent, time. We're talking about 5.5 years. 5.5 years of their time and energy, family, friends, all to come to this conclusion. Dude's gonna be stuck. He's gonna be hurting. And she'll move on. So, men and women, watch for people like this. Look for the red flags. You know within 6 months what you want to do, what you don't want to do. Act on it. Breaking up it's tough. It really is. However, pull that band-aid off. You would appreciate it and your partner would appreciate it. And just to highlight her camouflage gypsy tricks, this woman is 24 years old. She's going to be stuck for a while. What's going to happen is she's not going to want to be in that situation anymore. And then the shoe is going to go on the other foot. She's going to find somebody she's infatuated with and tries to do everything this guy is doing to keep him. And he's going to play her like she just played him. And the cycle continues. Break that cycle. You know what? Let's stay in the breakup lane. Here's a 27-year-old female and her girlfriend who's 30 years old. Her question is, am I shallow for wanting to break up with my girlfriend who's 30 years old because she doesn't want to do anything? And mind you, she's 27. Here's her details. I, 27-year-old female, have been dating my girlfriend, she's 30, for nearly 3 years. I feel like I'm losing myself. I'm so bored all the time. My girlfriend doesn't do much. She works 9-to-5 job, telework job. That's low stress. She has no hobbies except for doing puzzles. I have a lot of interest in hobbies, including some I'm trying to pursue more. She didn't word that right. I enjoy learning and continuing to develop skills. I try and get her involved in hiking, taking dogs for a walk, cooking, woodworking, etc. Excuse me. But she always says she doesn't have time for anything. But we live together, and all she does is work her 9-to-5, same as me, and then sits and watch TV all day. She even tells her family and friends she's incredibly busy and never has time for anything. I feel like this is making me lose myself, and it's turning into me just going out and doing everything alone, except she does come on errands. Would it be shallow of me to break up with someone because they never want to do anything? This is another one where the question is just vague enough. Women do this shit. Men do this too. It always goes back and forth, but women carry a heavy load of this type of communication. It's very interesting. And think about her question, right? Would it be shallow of me to break up with someone because they never want to do anything? And she even worded her whole question that my girlfriend doesn't want to do anything, and that's of 3 years, and that's why I want to break up. Like the last woman, you're lying. Right? Truth is, you knew 6 months going into it, she wasn't it. And your selfish ass, because no one else was around, not that can fulfill you at least to what she's doing. You want to keep her around. And here you are 3 years later. That's how much you value yourself, by the way. But here you are 3 years later talking about, it's just killing me. She doesn't do anything. Like she did something in the first 6 months. Right? So you're lying. We need to get that out up front. But there's a few details that I can share with you all just for future reference. Never try to get your partner into your hobbies. All right? Your hobbies are your hobbies. And especially if they're with your friends. That's your time. And her hobbies should be her time. And as you notice, she just works all day and comes home and watch TV. That's what she likes to do. Some people love that shit. Leave them alone. Right? You know she wasn't down to do whatever the hell you do. So leave them alone. Don't try to rope them in there. See, let me tell you what the woman who's asking this question is doing. She's trying to bring her... She's not a huge fan of being by herself. And she never really acquired a life during her single life. So as she has this partner and she knows she's slowly fading away from her, she's trying to transform them to make them more suitable to fit her ideal perception of what she sees for her partner in a woman. You see where I'm getting at? They're all gypsy tricks. She's a high manipulator. And the other one, she's just chilling. Alright? But leave your partners out of your hobbies. Right? Y'all should explore something together, if anything. If you're going to have hobbies together, make sure your interests are lined up. Right? I work out with my girl. Right? And that's because I have an interest in fitness. So as soon as she brought it up, it was like, now you're speaking my language. We're on point. So, but if I play disc golf or one of my own hobbies, I go with my friends and I take time out for myself. Unless she has an interest in it. Right? Your time is important. Each other's time is important. Each other's space is important. Make sure you give them to your partner. She even mentions, I feel like this is making me lose myself and it's turning into me just going out and doing everything alone. That's losing yourself, doing things alone. This just highlights what you didn't have prior to her. Right? Stop blaming her for how you feel. That's how I know you're being lazy and irresponsible and not taking ownership for your life. And it's funny, you didn't mention anything about her complaints. It's either you don't discuss this with her or she's not complaining and she's okay. So the problem is you. Peel that Band-Aid off. Do it quick. She'll love you for that. Explain her to what's going on. Don't blame it on her. This is an incompatibility thing right here. But one, acting like you're not being affected. And that's not good. Your partner needs to know this is affecting you. And you should address that. You would feel better. You will become stronger. And you need to figure out your life. Get educated.